I'm Peter Nilsson, resident of the city of Wallsburg, and thankfully married into the family out there. Been there for a long time. He's got property out there. I'm a geologist currently with the Utah Geological Survey. I've worked on mine permits with water and groundwater in Colorado, Wyoming, India, the Philippines, Kentucky, and Pennsylvania. Doing stream surveys, groundwater flows, wells, modeling, everything. I'd like to make some general observations. You probably, knowing out there in the valley, that we're a closed system out in the valley. We have a limited amount of recharge in a good year or in a bad year for recharging. We're different than the valleys over here because we don't have major streams coming in. We have 3 streams: Maple Creek, Main Canyon, and Spring Creek. Those are the main flows going through the valley. So we're limited in the amount of water that we have available. The geology of the valley is such that it's a down-dropped block in the mountains, like the Wasatch Front. You can see the fault scarps on the south side of the valley. There are several hundreds of feet of down drop there, which means we don't know how deep the valley is. It's at least 300 feet thick, valley sediments, probably a lot deeper than that. We don't know how deep it is, so you don't know how big your aquifer is. The streams that come in from Main Creek and the other locations are probably isolated from the valley. I've been looking at some well logs, and there's a typical 40 to 80 foot thick clay layer in the top 150 feet of sediment out there. So the surface water that's flowing through is probably isolated from the actual recharge being pumped out of the valley. That's probably coming in off the big alluvial fans off the side of the hill. We don't know how much is coming in. We don't know what the impact is. So I think my whole idea here is that we're limited to the amount of water that we have, good or bad, and we really don't know how much water we have, what the impact of surface water is, how much the impact of mining or groundwater pumping would be. And that leads to a problem. If you got isolated systems, you recall what's happening down in the city of Enoch, outside of Cedar City, where they've been pumping water out of there for a number of years. And so you're getting the valley starting to down drop because you're taking the water out, the skeleton is dropping, you're getting fault scarps, and that whole development out there is lost. And that's going to continue. Now, I'm not saying that that's going to happen in Round Valley, but if you don't know what your resources are and you pump over the limit, it has potential to happen. And my big point is, I don't think we have any information at all, so that we have water for these kind of developments and for this overlay change. So, quickly, that's my point is we're not much information to make a big change like this. And we typically need a big study for this. So, any questions?
Thank you. Any questions? Thanks.
Point of order.
My name is Floyd White. I'm a resident of Wallsburg City. I've lived there almost 35 years. I have deep roots. My granddad grew up there many years ago. There was a hiatus. No whites in Wallsburg until we moved over there. I have been on the Wallsburg County Board for many years, presently serving as a Wallsburg County committee member. And I've been authorized to state categorically that at least the public officials of Wallsburg City are opposed to this change in zoning that would allow the increased development over there. I don't believe any of us are naive enough to think that development won't happen, or that people don't have rights to build on property that they own. But I do believe that when these protection zones were developed many years ago, the 160 zone, etc., that there was some great wisdom in that thought process that protected large areas. I think that zoning is even more critical today than perhaps 100 years ago when some of those zones were developed. We see more and more as the pressures on our precious resources increase, the wisdom in some of that planning of the past. Two or three concerns that I have personally. Cost of the infrastructure. It's been touched on a little bit already with roads, public areas, etc. Those generally default to the citizens of Wallsburg, or the citizens of Wasatch County to fund. Once the development is complete and the developer has moved on, then that falls upon everyone's shoulders to maintain that. And one last thought. Wallsburg is kind of a unique little valley. We're confined by the geography of the valley, the mountains around us, into one little round hole. And there are already plenty of pressures trying to divide city from county, etc. We'd like to see a united effort that combines Wallsburg and makes us more of a combined entity rather than the city of Wallsburg, the county, this new development on the south side of the creek. That would, to my way of thinking, just increase the fracturing of our community. We would instead like to see a plan that involves everyone and helps us grow together and become more united rather than more fractured. That's all I have to say. Any questions?
Any questions for Mr. Whiting? Thank you.
Thank you.
We have one more.
Wait, Sean is next. Not paying attention.
Sorry.
Okay. I'm Shauna Raby. I'm a landowner in Wallsburg County. And I want to talk about something that's not tangible. It's not water. It's not dirt. It's the people. It's our quality of life. We're on this earth for such a short period of time. And as I look around, I think you're all pretty much with me looking towards what will be our legacy when we leave. A few years ago, quite a few years ago, they dug an oil road up on the northeast side of the valley. That oil road is still there. Nothing happened, but that scar is still there across the valley. That will never be fixed. It's there. Someone made a decision that impacted the valley, and it can never be changed. With the Wallsburg Overlay Zone, you're being asked to make decisions that are going to impact 300 families. That's a big responsibility. These are people who value the quality of life that they have chosen. Many of these people have had relatives that founded Wallsburg. Some of us are newer. We still chose Wallsburg for the way that Wallsburg was and is. And if you approve the WOZ and look at it, look at the map and see where the development is, where the church is planned to be, where there's a Girl Scout camp, where there's a lodge, it's going to impact the residents in a huge manner. Think of the construction trucks that are going to go up our little lanes. Think of the traffic that is going to now be going up and down those roads. When I walked in, Mike mentioned, yeah, you go out for walks. I don't have the time to do that. Yeah, I go out for walks because that's something that I value. We each have chosen Wallsburg for the quality of life, and hope that as you make your decisions, that will also come into play. It's easy to answer water. We'll just do the special first. It's easy to answer the legalities of the WOZ. You can't, a smart attorney can come up with the answers to those. So even though something may be legal, we want you to consider whether or not it's moral.
Any questions? Mr. Brady? Thank you.
And I have to tell you, you miss my really nice. You're up.
My name is Clint Hendricks. I'm a landowner in the county, now living in Wallsburg City. Tell my lawyers about this, but the only things I want to address is how this proposed overlay actually goes with the general plan. I think we're pretty well hit on the main points. I don't need to rehash that. So proposing kicking into preservation zone does not comport with the general plan. Obviously, on the other side, any decision that you guys make as council's vision is what impacts this have on the private landowners. This does not render an unnecessary hardship on them. They still have their right to develop and build within the current existing zoning structure. So, for those two reasons, it shouldn't be approved. But I think more importantly, what we've really done here is we've got an engineer who's telling us there's a discrepancy of about 1,000 ERUs between what Wallsburg area, South Hills area can actually fit versus what it's currently zoned for. We've also got a geologist telling us that we just don't have the information to make any decisions at this point. So all we're suggesting at this point is let's move forward. Let's make a comprehensive, resource-based Wallsburg/South Hills planning area plan that we can actually use some data and make some informed decisions. That's all we're asking for. We're not asking for lack of development or anything. We just want a comprehensive plan that's resource-based. Any questions for me?
Thank you. Is that it, Randy?
That's her, but no, yeah, we're good. But I can get Randy here.